But first, giving honor and glory to God, who is the head of my life, my weight maker, my miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. Do you know about that God? Because I do, and I'm so grateful to call him the head of my life, my friend, my protector, my provider. I just love him so much. And to give glory and honor to the shepherds of this here house, Bishop Oscar Love Jr. and her pastor, Lady Sister Love. They are doing a mighty work here at this church, and I'm so glad that Minister Sheena Riggins also, who is, I'm sure, with a great team, the visionary of this here women's conference. I'm so glad to be here offering the words of inspiration. When I was thinking about offering these words, I was like, what does that look like? I was like, I can't preach the sermon because Minister Stephanie's going to do that. So I was like, so then what do I do? So I kind of put together something to just share my story and my testimony, and I hope it'll be edifying to you. So just join me as I tell this story. So for me, growing up in church, as many of us did, I really didn't know why I was going to church. I just kind of went to church because my mom and dad went to church, and I had to go with them everywhere they went because I wasn't old enough to take care of myself. And in my household, I had two options, and that was to listen and to listen. So when I thought that I had another option, I had a rude awakening coming for me. So I listened, and I came to church, and I tried to get to know God, but I was a little young, so I was kind of just going with emotions. When I saw everybody else clapping, I was like, okay, that's what we do. When I saw everybody else lift their hands, I was like, am I doing it right? Am I high enough? But I just tried to do what everyone else was doing. But then one day, can you all say then one day with me? The Spirit of the Lord just overtook me, and I was never the same after that day. Glory to God, glory to God. And there was one day when a pastor was speaking on a sermon, and I don't remember explicitly what that title was, but it just convicted me so much because he applied it to like real life circumstances. And in my naive and ignorant mind, I thought like, the Bible is like something that only older people can understand, and it's really hard to read and comprehend. I'm sure it's like really thick, and there's like this foreign King Hebrew language, and I only speak English, so how am I going to understand? And then when the pastor broke it down for me, I was like, what? That's what it says? So this man is going through the same thing that I've gone through. He went through this, but he overcame, so I can overcome too. That's what's up. So when I had that kind of realization and revelation, I just was never the same. And I think I learned from that moment that you don't just go to church and live for God on Sunday and possibly Wednesday if you go to Bible study, but you live for God every single day. Amen. And you're grateful when you have another day to live for Him. So after that moment, I just felt forever changed. So even, I want to say it wasn't until I was maybe about 13, I would say, when I was in church, and it was really starting to sink in, and I really wanted to chase God for myself, and I wanted to know what that looked like. And I heard, like, you read your Bible, you pray, you have faith. I heard all these big things, and I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing that. But I really didn't know how to, but with some guidance from obviously my great parents and asking advice from my pastor, the Lord just met me where I was and helped me out where I was. So many of us are going to the youth conference, so you all know DJ Khaled, right? So DJ Khaled is supposedly this really sage guy with all these wisdoms and what he calls major keys. So I brought before you 3 major keys that I feel like will help us to be the chosen people, the chosen generation, the peculiar people that God has called us to be. So number 1. Number 1, pray and prepare. Pray and prepare. There is power in prayer. Power in prayer. The Bible talks about ask and you shall receive. Pray without ceasing. Thank you. The Bible talks about praying without ceasing, and that the prayers, the fervent and effectuous prayers of the righteous availeth much. So once we understand there is power in prayer, And it's so funny, I was just joking with my friend on FaceTime the other day that it wasn't even until later on in my college years that I figured out that you can kind of pray about anything. I thought you can only pray about healing and Lord, they talk about me at church. I thought you can only pray about maybe cliche things. But I pray to God when I'm like walking class. I'm like, Lord, help me understand what the professor is going to say today. Sometimes I don't understand what he's talking about. When I'm going to the dining hall, Lord, don't let me get food poisoning. Let me eat the right thing. Let me digest my food the right way I'm supposed to. So when you realize that you can pray about anything and you can talk to God just like you're talking to your homegirls or your homeboys, right? Then you'll have it. You'll have it. And then also prepare, because faith without works is dead, and prayer without works is also dead. I oftentimes found myself in situations like that where I'd be like, Lord, help me get on this test. You know, I know that'll make you look really good, and me too. So, a little bit, and I know you'll do this because you got my back. And I quickly learned that I had to put some work in, some studying along with that. So make sure that when you're praying, because God will plant those seeds into you, so you pray the things you're supposed to be praying, then He will fulfill them when He sees you doing the work. Also, number 2, major key number 2, spend time in your word. Spend time in your word. Joshua 1:8 talks and says, study this book of instruction. This book of instruction. The Bible is like your handbook to life. The Bible is like your handbook to life. It has everything you need in it. And if you don't think it does, I'm telling you it does. If you think it may be boring, it's not. I just got this new Bible a couple months ago. It's called the Wayfinding Bible. It has all these arrows that connect stories, and I'm like really excited. Like, oh, that happened to Moses? Wait, and then that happened to Job and Esther too? What? No. So it's a really good story. If you like drama, if you like comedy, if you like a little like to cry, some soap operas, it's all in there. It's all in there. So stay in your word. Stay in your word. I can't say that enough. And then to that point, when you stay in your word, you can no longer say that I haven't heard God speak to me. Because it's right there. It's right there. You don't have to go search high and low for it. For those of us who don't like hardcovers, we have apps, obviously. For those of us who do, we have the Bible. Just open it. And you don't have to spend all day on it. You don't have to, to be the perfect Christian. You don't have to do this, that, and the third. But He just needs to see your heart. And if your heart is to seek Him, really understand Him, He'll reveal things to you that you're like, God, you can do this for me? You can really do this for me? And it's just a powerful thing once you see that. And finally, major key number 3, I would say, is to trust and be patient. Those are 2 fruits of the Spirit. When you pray about something and when you prepare and when you stay in your word, you just got to stand firm and know God said He's going to do it. God promised me this, so I'm going to trust and be patient because I know it's coming in due time. And along with that, we have to know that our timing isn't God's timing. So though I may want to raise, let's say by tomorrow, I don't need to raise by tomorrow, because if I get it tomorrow, I'm going to blow it in a quick second. So God's timing is the perfect timing. So if we just trust, be patient, stay in our word, and pray and prepare, God will surely see us through. We will surely shine so brightly so that men will see. Our lamps will be on a stand and not covered up back in a little room in a corner. We will really be bringing Him glory. And to that point, I would like to say, recently, with the church that I go to up where my school is, we did a Lent prayer challenge. That was really new for me. I had never celebrated Lent before, and the pastor kind of charged us to do this 40-day prayer challenge. And one of the prayer challenges, or the days in the prayer challenge, I found to be so profound, and it was called Put on Waiters. And really quickly, so the book talks about drawing circles. So basically, saying like, God, I'm going to draw this circle to believe for this, and I'm going to stand in it until you perform, because I know you put this seed in my heart. And one of the prayer challenge days was talking about them expecting rain after there had been a season of drought, like a long season of drought. Like there was no harvest, there was no water, they were just out there. They were struggling. And they were like praying for rain, and they knew that God was going to perform for them. But some people messed up because they said, oh yeah, I'm going to go and we're going to pray for rain. But then they didn't put on their waders. So I didn't know what waders were, so I had to look it up. And it's supposedly water protective gear. So it's like rain boots and little jumpers. So one man showed up to the prayer with his waders on because he's like, we're praying for rain, so if we really believe that God is gonna bring this rain, I'm putting on my waders. So we need to put on our waders that when God says he's gonna do something, if God's gonna bless me with a car, I'm about to sweep out my driveway because it's coming. I'm about to get my air freshener because I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Amen, amen. So I thought that was just so profound, and I'm like, that's so true. Like, I'll pray for, let's say, a car, and then I'm not for a car, or if someone says, hey, you want to go look at these cars? Like, no, I don't have the money just yet. It's like, no, I'm going to that car lot because I'm going to say that one's mine, and when the time is right, I'm coming to claim it in the name of Jesus. Yes, and it is so. Won't he do it? So, just to kind of close, I'd like to share my testimony and how I applied being prayerful, preparing, trusting, and being patient and spending time in my word. So I am a rising junior in college. Can't believe it. Many of you knew me when I was in my mother's womb, which was 20 years ago. Crazy. Anywho, when I was in high school, I felt like God was promising me that I would go to college debt-free. So he planted that seed in my heart, and I prayed for it. And when I prayed for it, I didn't like labor on like, okay, how do I help him help me get it? Because I don't know if he's gonna do it, so should I go try to do this just in case he doesn't come through? No, that wasn't me. So I said, all right, Lord, I'm praying that I'm going to school debt-free, and I'm gonna let you help me find out. And at that point, I didn't really know about scholarships. You know, my mom and I hadn't really talked that far yet. We were talking about the schools, but not really scholarships. So when I get to my senior year, I hear about this thing called Gates Millennium Scholarship. And this Gates Millennium Scholarship, let me explain it to you, is funded by Bill and Melinda Gates to pay for the duration of your bachelor's, master's, and PhD, not just tuition, but cost of attendance. So that's books, that's your housing, that's your meal plan, so you don't go without. So long story short, I prayed for it, I trusted God, I did the application. He even extended it just for me because I was still putting finishing touches on essays. That's another topic. We don't need to procrastinate, y'all, but he helped me anyway because he knew it was for me. So I'm putting my finishing touches on my essays, and I submit, and I'm like, all right, God, make it happen. I had applied to other scholarships, and some I had even come back, and I hadn't gotten them, and I was like, okay, all right. I was kind of starting to get like Sarah, like, all right, God, I'm about 99, and I ain't had no child yet. Like, I'm about to go to college, and I don't know where the scholarship money is coming from. So, long story short, I applied, I made it through the second round, and I'm like, all right, God, you wouldn't bring me this far to leave me, so let's go ahead and cross this finish line. So I believed. My mom and I were in the mall one day after I had attended an overnight. I got the email, congratulations, you are one. And I think things over, and I can truly say that I've been blessed, and I have a testimony that I am sharing with you this day. So I get the email and catch it. They said, congratulations, you are one of 1,000 recipients, but there were 57,000 recipients that applied. Can I tell you that my God handpicked me out of 57,000 people? We serve a God that knows right where we are in the midst of 57,000 people. Oh my gosh. So I was just like floored, and I'm like, God, you can have it all. You can have it all. You know, and there, I will say, not to say that we should, you know, praise God only for the good, but sometimes God will do some good so that we can see him clearer. And I see him as clear as day. And even now, when things don't go my way, like maybe I didn't get a good grade or something, I'm like, okay, but I'm like, but God is able to do exceedingly abundantly over all that I could ever ask or think. So I will trust you, and I will believe, because I know that it will be done. So I just encourage you all today to stay prayed up, to trust and be patient, to stay in your word. God knows where you are. He knows who you are. He created you in his image. You made it this far, so he obviously has a purpose and plan for your life. So if you just internalize that and realize that you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, an heir to the throne, you are a prince and a prince. How many of them are there? Not too many. We have certain rights. We have a birthright. A birthright. When we gave our life to Christ, God said, it's all yours. Take power and authority over my earth. Do with it in the right way. But you have authority and power, so walk in it. So I just encourage you all today. I love you so much. And I'd like to offer the invitation, not for salvation, because that is not my calling. But I do offer you the invitation to ask me any questions after service, of course, and ask me about my faith walk. It hasn't been a cakewalk. There's been days when I didn't pray for a long time because I was discouraged. There were times when I cried and I was like, God, you brought me to this school and you paid for everything, but people aren't maybe treating me so nice. Maybe I'm not getting good grades. Like, why did you do this to me? But then you see that light and it's like, oh, okay. All right, I see you. So God bless you. I love you. And let us all be beautiful in our brokenness.